Welcome to the Empowered Mind podcast with Joelle and Natalie Rivera. We are on a never-ending quest to master the power of our mind, develop a growth mindset, and explore the leading edge of positive psychology and human potential so we can take radical personal responsibility for creating our destinies and reaching our potential. Are you playing small? There's a lot of people who are playing it small. And the reason why they do it ultimately is because they're afraid that if they play it big and they really go for it and embrace their greatness, that they're gonna leave other people behind or that other people will judge them. And so they allow that to hold them back from being what they truly are, which is amazing.
And if you really think about it, a lot of times what tends to happen is that we look at how our life would change. You know, a lot of people fear success more than they do failure. Because like Natalie was saying, how would your relationships change? What if all of a sudden you're living your dreams, you're traveling, you're living a new reality, you actually love your life? How would you connect to other people that are constantly just talking about negativity? Or how would you connect to maybe other people around you that are constantly saying it's not possible, it's not possible? So we have a connection with ourselves and with other people, sometimes our identity, by playing small instead of really embracing all the possibilities of what we can create if we stand our ground and really stand within our own power.
And so one way that you would know that you're playing small is if you're constantly finding yourself complaining about what's not going right in your world. And again, like Joelle said, that you're doing that because this is our culture. Our culture tends to get around and chit chat about everything that's going wrong. Another thing that you might notice is the things that are going awesome, like you're excited about it, but if you feel yourself being apprehensive to share it with the people in your life, then that's because you're afraid of how it's going to change things. You're going to be afraid that if you bring up how happy you are and everybody else is miserable, that they're going to reject you. Or that if you talk about how much you love your job or how great your business is going or how awesome your relationship is, that you'll make people feel bad about their own lives. And so what do? You keep the good things to yourself instead of sharing them. But the problem with that is that if you don't express your gratitude for the things in your life and you don't allow yourself to be excited about the things that are going well, then you're not attracting more of it to yourself. You're not going to be thinking in a mind space of more things that you want to do, getting even better, improving your world more than you already are now. Because if you're already afraid to share your joys with the people in your life now, then imagine how much harder it would be if I was actually embracing my greatness. And so that's how you get stuck in a world where you're playing small.
And you're really taken away from other people. Because if you really think about it, you know, there are other people that are looking at you and they're playing small. And because they're looking at you playing small and you guys are kind of feeding each other off this playing small. So by you not embracing your power, you're not allowing other people to share their light. You're not allowing other people to say, hey, if Joelle could do it, I could do it. Or if this person can do that, then maybe I can live my dreams. So a lot of times we don't realize that it's not even about us. It's about what we're putting out to the world, how we're really empowering other people. If you want to give people around you a true gift, and they might create doubt in your life. They might say it's not possible. They might have these naysayers around what you want to create. But I will tell you, once you create it, what happens is that you're helping them question their reality. You're helping them realize maybe I'm playing small. Maybe I don't have to. So instead of being the one that, well, if I talk about the good things, then I'm going to make someone else feel bad. Why don't you approach it from the perspective, maybe if I talk about good things, I'm going to help others create good things as well.
And if you give yourself permission to be great, then you're giving everyone around you permission to be great too. And so by continuing to play it small and by continuing to be afraid of some sort of imaginary negative repercussion for you doing everything that you came to this earth to be, you're just going to continue to limit your life. And so if you recognize that you know that you're supposed to be a lot further along than you are now, or you recognize you have so much more potential than you're currently using. Just pay attention to those conversations you have with the people in your life. Are you focusing on the negative things just so you have something that you feel like you can talk about? Or are you being honest about the things that not only that you love about your life and that are going well in your life, but your dreams and your visions for your future?
And it's understandable, even for us. I think initially one of the things we really had to let go of was not fully embracing the power that we had, not fully embracing how good our life is, how good our relationship is, and how good really our business is doing. It's thriving. We're contributing to other people. But then at some point we realized, wait, are we living for other people or are we living for us? And are we being that example to other people that they can too embrace the true self that they want? And really, we just want you to know that if you're listening to us, it's because you're the type of person that really embraces and wants to create this life beyond what you have now, that you really know that you have greatness within you, because you do have greatness within you, and that you're willing to spend the time in your mindset to grow, to develop. But the first part of that is recognizing that as you grow and develop, that your conversations need to change, that you playing small is no longer acceptable, that you have to embrace your power, and that everything you do, you have to realize that you have greatness within you, and that you will stop at nothing to embrace your greatness. Meaning that when somebody gives you a compliment, instead of saying, well, okay, yeah, and shying away from it, embracing your greatness and saying, yes, thank you, and moving forward with that pride, with embracing that you do and you are doing some great things, and you will continue to do some great things.
And if people are giving you a compliment, whether it's something small like nice shirt, or if they're, talking about how amazing it is that they think about what you are doing with your life, that really you need to own it. And the reason why you need to own it is because when you don't own it, what you're really saying is that I'm afraid of acknowledging this wonderful thing about myself, because I actually don't want people to think that I think that I'm great. And so isn't it kind of funny that on one hand, we really want to be recognized for what we do, but at the same time, we don't want to recognize what we do because we're afraid people are going to judge us for it. They're going to think that we're arrogant. They're going to think that, we have a chip on our shoulder. But the truth is that by shying away from accepting a compliment, or even if it's not a compliment, just straight out owning your greatness, that if you don't do that, you are taking away an opportunity from the people around you to be in awe of your greatness, which means that you're making it so they feel like they can't let theirs out either. So if you don't say, yes, I really appreciate that you noticed that, and allow them that moment of complimenting you, then if you don't, then if you compliment them, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to say, oh, well, and they're going to be all sheepish about it because they're not going to be comfortable, accepting the compliment or embracing the truth about who they are.
And I remember one time I had a client that told me, Joel, you really impacted and changed the way that I viewed life. And in this moment, because of what you said. And I remember she said that to me, and I was like, okay, thank you. And then I just started talking about something else. But then she said, no, I really want you to embrace it, because I don't think you realize what you just did for me. And then it was at that point that I realized that I wasn't embracing my greatness, my purpose. And sometimes, you have a message to share. Maybe you want to post it on Facebook and say, well, they might judge me if I put a video up or if I say my truth. And at the end of the day, it's about saying, I'm going to share my truth. I'm going to share what I have, my purpose with this world. I'm going to embrace my greatness, and I will no longer settle for playing small.
It's time to play it big. Thank you, fellow Freedom Junkies, for listening. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. And if you want to help us grow, please rate and share this podcast. You can also become a member of Freedom Nation. Visit freedomourbustpodcast.com and sign up to receive access to exclusive content and take the 21-day happiness challenge. As you know, we believe that entrepreneurship is the ultimate form of empowerment, which is why we created the Side Hustle Business Startup course for anyone looking to create their own income and take back their power. We offer an exclusive discount for our podcast listeners. Find out more at freedomourbustpodcast.com.